I've got a secret for you. You're using promotions on your Shopify store completely wrong. And chances are you probably don't even know it. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. It's a slow month on your Shopify store and you need to bring in some cash. So you create a discount, mark down everything on your store 20, 30, or 40%. Then after it's over, it feels pretty good. Your revenue took a shot in the arm, but for some reason, your bank account disagrees. In this video, I'm going to show you a 4-step framework I developed over 15 years of growing my Shopify store from $0 to $10 million to use sales as a tool to make more money year round and not a fallback strategy when you simply need more cash. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Steve Merrill, and I've sold over $60 million online and spent over $5 million on Facebook ads. And it wasn't until about 5 years into that journey that I realized something really crazy. Black Friday, the month everyone says is the very best time to sell, was actually my worst month for making money. Sure, we moved a lot of product and my team was completely slammed, but we were spending huge on ads just to sell heavily discounted items. A few years ago, we had this record-breaking Black Friday sale, and it felt great to brag about how much we were selling. But my bank account did not feel the same. So, like a good business owner, I ran the numbers, and I realized in November we were always less profitable than every other month of the entire year. How could that be? Because everybody talks about how Black Friday is the biggest time of year if you're in retail. For a lot of companies, they say it makes or breaks their entire year. So I had to figure it out. I went back to the drawing board and I studied 5 years of sales data. And I developed what I now call my $60 million sales strategy. These are 4 rules that make sales a growth tool and not a panic button. And just for context, these are things that I learned as I grew my business. I started out, I didn't know any of these. I had to slowly and painstakingly figure these things out over time, making mistake after mistake. But once I figured out this formula, it completely changed my business. And so you know these work. After implementing them in 2019, we turned a slow January into a $250,000 month, where we usually sold less than $100,000. We sold more in one September before Black Friday than we ever had all month of Black Friday. And more importantly, we kept more profit than ever before. So I'm going to break it all down for you. But before I do, make sure to hit that link and the subscribe button to get all the strategies I've used to scale my brand from $0 to $10 million a year. So rule number 1, never put everything on sale. See, a store-wide discount feels like the easiest option, but it's also the fastest way to destroy your margins. And if you've watched anything that I've talked about before, margins are the lifeblood of your business. So your best sellers, the products that you know are always going to sell well at full price, they should never be on sale. Instead, target your sale to the stuff that's underperforming in your inventory, stuff that's out of season, products that just don't move, maybe stuff that you bought too much of, and now you can't turn it over fast enough to make the money you need to run your business. Maybe items that no longer fit your brand strategy. You know what I'm talking about. It's that stuff sitting in the back corner that you bought thinking you were going to expand what you're selling to your customers. Ends up nobody actually wanted to buy it. So you're going to take all of those things and put them into a dedicated sale collection and discount them heavily, at least 40% off, so customers feel urgency and value in that product. Years ago, I was talking to a mentor of mine as I was developing this strategy who told me that anytime you run a sale, that means you made a buying mistake. You either bought too much or you bought the wrong thing. In an ideal world, you never have to discount a single thing, but no brand is perfect. So have to figure out how to use sales as a strategy instead of just discounting everything on our inventory. So here is what I want you to take away from this point. Discounts are a buying mistake. Anytime you have to discount a product, it means that you either bought too much or you bought the wrong thing. Because let's be honest, if you bought the exact right quantities that you need to be able to sell, it would match exactly with what your customers are looking to buy. And you can sell it at the price that you need to sell it for to keep your margins padded. So use these opportunities as a learning experience, and it's time to cut ties with that stuff. It doesn't matter if you bought it for $10, $20, even $50 a unit. If nobody wants it, sitting in your warehouse collecting dust just means that you've got money sitting in your warehouse that could be turned into cash. It doesn't matter if it's 10% or even breaking even on what you bought it for. It's time to cut it loose and turn it into money so you can get some inventory that you know people are going to want to buy. And that brings us to rule number 2. Don't run a sale just because you need some cash in the bank. Now, this is a trap I see a lot of Shopify owners fall into all the time. Honestly, I fell into this trap over and over and over again. You're low on cash, so you run a sale hoping that you're going to bump revenue. In reality, all that does is pull forward demand from people who probably would have bought from you already, but now you're running a sale and it gives them a reason to buy now instead of waiting till later. But the real purpose of a sale is to clear out inventory so you can reinvest that money into products that people actually want to buy. Yeah, that $10 sweater that you've had for 2 years, it's not worth $10 anymore. It's worth whatever someone will pay for it today, even if it's less than it cost you to buy it. Because $1 in your bank account's worth more than $10 of dead inventory sitting on your shelf. And that brings us to rule number 3. Limit sales to 3 times a year. Hard stop. You see, when you run sales too often, you train your customers to wait for them instead of buying at full price. And that kills your full price revenue. You see, I've got this brand that I love called Built T-shirts. I love their shirts. I'm not wearing one today, but I love their products. What I've learned is they run a sale about every 60 to 90 days where everything is 30% off. So now I wait to buy the stuff that I want from that brand because I know at some point soon it's going to be on sale. For my own brand, I found the fewer sales that we had, the more we sold when we weren't on sale. And it took some time for our customers to learn and adjust to that. But then when we did run a sale, it just went nuts. So here's the cycle that you should be following for sales over the course of a 12-month period. In January, you're going to clear out all your winter stuff to prep for spring inventory. In July and August, you're going to clear out summer to prep for fall. And then that leaves one sale left a year, which you guessed it, is Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but only run it in a profitable way. So the first year I tested this, we turned January 2020 into a $250,000 sales month, more than we made in November and December combined that year before. So we skipped that mid-year sale entirely in 2020. We didn't run another sale from January all the way until September of 2021. That's right, we opted out of Black Friday. We didn't have a clearance sale that next January. And with all that pent-up demand, we had a record-breaking month. We sold $870,000 in 1 month alone. Now compare that to the same month the previous year where our sales were $320,000, all because we built anticipation and focused on profit. Now rule number 4, and this is probably the biggest takeaway of all 4. The sales success formula. Every profitable sale I've run follows this exact formula. And here it is. I'm going to show it on screen for you. So your percentage discount times the size of your audience times the days since your last sale equals your revenue increase or success of your sale. And if you look at this formula, the bigger the discount, the bigger the audience, and the more time you've waited since your last sale is going to translate into a bigger spike when you do run a sale. This formula is the exact reason why more strategic sales outperform constant discounts every single time. So if you remember nothing else from this video, remember just this one thing. Sales should be a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Done the right way, you keep your cash flow healthy, clear out old stock, and make your customers more excited to buy from you all throughout the year. If you'd like some help putting together a highly profitable sales strategy for your Shopify store, just hit that link below in the description and book a call with my team.